Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Alright team, today we have some pretty big news I just saw on X. Shout out to the Spurs Spotlight Discord. And I know I haven't been promoting it as much, but it's still there. The link will be in the comments section if you want to talk Spurs basketball with us. Really stay updated even before a video comes out. Shout out Gladys. Go ahead and join the Spurs Spotlight Discord. But like I was saying, big news for the Spurs. Shout out Matt for posting this on X. Official correspondence from the Spurs. Luke Cornett and Stephon Castle are now listed as questionable for tomorrow's matchup versus the Pelicans. Castle is expected to play, so instead of questionable, he's more probable. Now, this is a game I expect the Spurs to win pretty easily, even with Victor Wembanyama out, and I do think this is a game you should probably keep him out for precautionary reasons. I would like to see him back against the Lakers, though, and I think that is likely because Michael C. Wright posted on X, Vic, Jordan McLaughlin, and Castle all participated in practice. I expect Castle because he's probable, but with this news, I think we will see Vic in that game against the Lakers. I think it is a big game for the Spurs to try and take a step playing in a high intensity game, especially it being a game against the Lakers. Victor Wembanyama has not beat Luka in his career, and I heard Mitch Johnson say that Stephon Castle and Wemby were in his ear, so they could possibly play in that game, but obviously Mitch Johnson doesn't call the shots when it comes to injuries. Moving on to our next order of business, we are going to talk about some rumors that I've been seeing, or not even rumors, I think it's just ideas being floated out, and it feels like trade rumors or ideas are just a yearly thing, especially with the NBA in today's age with social media and all that stuff. People are always throwing out ideas on pairing people up. So this is nothing concrete. There is no interest that at least I know of, but then again, I don't have no sources or anything. I think the Spurs keep the team that they have right now. They don't even make a significant move at the deadline. I don't think you do that. But NBA Retweet posted this: the San Antonio Spurs top 3 trade targets per Bleacher Report. You have Giannis, of course, which we all know what's going on with him in Milwaukee, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Trey Murphy. Now, I actually like the idea of putting Jaren Jackson on this team, but whenever you think about it, someone who can't really rebound for his size, but he does bring some shooting that the Spurs could use. This is an interesting idea. I think I would have to look into it more, but I don't think it's realistic, and it definitely doesn't happen this season. And you also have Trey Murphy III down here. Now, this was made by Bleacher Report. Obviously, they're not going to throw out realistic ideas, and if you ask me from a Spurs fan who's pretty in tune with the Spurs, I don't really think you need any of these trades this season. I think you give it a OKC type of run where you get into the playoffs and you see who sticks and who doesn't. Kind of like what they did with Josh Giddey. They saw him not producing in the playoffs. He wasn't able to stay on the court, and so they shipped him to Chicago. And then they got a piece like Alex Caruso, which they could use, and it helped them win the championship. So I think you got to get into the playoffs before you make another trade like this. And this guy down here said, why would you trade for Jaren Jackson? He replicates Wemby in a lot of aspects, and he looks like he is declining as a player in general, not a winning type of dude. Y'all let me know what y'all think on that comment. But I think that's kind of the idea behind why you would be against Jaren Jackson. Now, one player I will talk about is Herb Jones. Pelicans signal willingness to listen to trade offers on Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. Again, I'm going to just come out and say it. I don't think any of these trades are going to happen. If I had to put a bet on it, I would probably bet against it because I don't think the Spurs are looking to make a move, and I don't think it's really necessary right now. But y'all know, if y'all been on the channel for a while, I've always said Herb Jones would be good on the team. And perimeter defense is one of the things that the Spurs have had a problem with, especially this last stretch with Wemby being out. Herb Jones is an all-defensive team caliber type of player, and he could definitely help that. A lot of people have question marks around his shooting, and as you can see, it's kind of streaky, 33, 41, 30, 36 this season. I would be willing to take the bet on him. The question is, what would the Pelicans want for him? Because he's on a really good contract. I'm not sure if they have it here on ESPN, but I'm gonna look it up for y'all. He signed a 3-year, $68 million deal, which is a steal. And obviously they would want some picks. I'm not sure how many they would want. Not sure how loosely the Spurs would be willing to just throw out a first-round pick either, so that's kind of where I think things could halt the trade. I'm not sure what that package would look like. I'm just saying I'm a fan of his game, and I think he could help us on the defensive end and bring a little bit more shooting. You would kind of hope that he would be more of this 41%. This is actually 42% from 3 compared to this 30%, which this was only a 20-game sample size. He was injured for most of the season. But those are just my thoughts. What do y'all think? But those are just my thoughts. What do y'all think about the Spurs trade situation? Are y'all excited to see Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle back? And leave down below in the comment section y'all's top 3 trade targets. Are y'all more on the side of going big for a Giannis, Jaren Jackson, or do y'all think the Spurs need a role player like Herb Jones? With that being said, y'all be sure to leave a like, comment as always, and be sure to subscribe.